All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Honestly, I don't even know where to start off with this one. It's been a while since I picked up the camera and filmed anything. Been doing a lot of stuff off camera. It's the repetitive stuff, just constantly sanding the car. I didn't think it was necessary to film any of that. You guys have seen plenty of that. But in this video, I would like to focus on having it completely done. At the moment, as we speak, it is not completely done. There's still a little stuff I got to hit here and there. But I would love to have it completely sanded in this video, and then we're gonna have it completely primered. The process on that is gonna be a little bit different than I've spoken about. I said I wanted to have the car in a portable paint booth, but in order to do that, I need the car to be mobile to drive it in and out. There's no way I can do a portable paint booth in here, and there's no way I'm gonna do it out there if it's not mobile. So one of you guys in the previous video did mention that there's nothing wrong with doing it in your garage. Just go ahead and do it in your garage. So honestly, it's the smartest route, because a portable paint booth, if I had a bunch of projects going on and I knew I was going to constantly use it, then financially that makes sense. But after doing some research, I'm going to just build a makeshift paint booth in here, isolate this half of the garage, and have, you know, my own little paint booth going on in here. That's the route I'm going to definitely take. It's honestly cheaper too. So again, this car is going to be completely sanded to bare metal and primer, and then we can start tackling some of the fun stuff. But yeah, I'm going to stop talking and we're just going to jump right into it. I don't know what the deal is with this one, but it's pissing me off. Oh, I broke. Oh wait, no, that's one piece. Hell yeah. We get to salvage that. Now I'm trying to get this side marker out, and having no luck at all. Oh, okay, there we go. One. Ah. So now I guess we pretty much go to town with sanding this bad boy down. All right, so we got this fender sanded down all the way around. We got the backside painted. Might have to be repainted because some of this, like, it's like almost like bed liner that they sprayed on the back. I wanted to keep as much of it as I can, but some of the bed liner was coming off. It's popping off while I was sanding. But you can see we got some low spots. We're gonna have to try and hit those with a wire wheel, get all those low spots. I'm pretty sure this isn't a dent. This is just how it is. I'd have to double check on the other fender. All right, so I decided to take a little break from sanding and start removing the front windshield. I got the rear windshield removed. It was time to get the front done. I don't know why it's gone this far without having it removed. I do have to replace the windshield anyways, and it does have to be removed to get in those hard to reach areas to sand and paint. And then of course the gasket is dry rotted. There's no way this thing would hold up in rain at all, so I have to replace the gasket. So we decided to take an aggressive approach. The windshield is no good. I wasn't going to reuse it by any means, so we took an aggressive approach. First, using a flathead to try and peel back as much of the gasket as we can. It wasn't doing anything, wasn't budging. And then I decided to just go ahead and take a razor blade and cut back most of the gasket and peel it off by hand, and that worked perfectly fine. It cut right through the gasket and the windshield came out with no issues whatsoever. All right. One thing I never did was take that entire dash apart, so I need to start taking all this. All right, that's all of that. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to access the windshield wipers so I can start sanding down these areas. So let's see if I can get something that'll reach inside there. So now that I got all this out of my way, I can start reaching some of these to get the windshield motors out. And there's another one down in there. All right, so now I got the wiper motor. This isn't the motor's over there, but I was able to get the part that holds the wiper in place removed. So now we can start sanding around these. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and tackle these door jambs. Just this area here, I'm gonna hit with the Rust-Oleum rust reformer. And then this is gonna get, about right here, is gonna get the primer and then paint, because obviously this is the part that's exposed. You can see there's a cover that goes over this. So I'm not gonna focus too much attention on trying to get that uniform with this. So I got it all cleaned out, sanded down. I'm gonna vacuum clean it again, and then we're gonna start hitting that. All right, I only want to cover that much up. I'm not too worried about the overspray. Again, like if I get some overspray in these areas, all of this is gonna get sanded down again. Primer anyway. And boom, we got the passenger side done just like the driver's side. Now we need to start cleaning up the cowl, getting where the, I don't know where they call this, but we gotta get all of this cleaned up. Next, the roof, and then we can start spraying everything down, getting everything cleaned, ready for primer. I'm gonna save you all the hassle of having to watch me get all of this sanded down and the roof and whatnot. So next time y'all see me start cleaning all the bare metal down, for me, that would be a couple hours. For y'all, that might be a minute or a second, I don't know. But yeah, let's jump right into that. All right, so I know I said it'd probably be a couple hours for me by the time I get this car finished. It's actually been a couple weeks. There's a little bit that I underestimated when it comes to sanding this car down. Now, from what y'all seen, it's different from the last clip. This was gray primer. The hood wasn't completely sanded down. The cowl wasn't completely sanded down. The dash wasn't painted. Door jambs weren't painted. Now I got some explaining to do on that. Okay, so what ended up happening actually was I was sitting down really trying to do some research about how I can achieve, a good quality paint job. At least like from a foot away, you would think it's a professional paint job. I'm by any means not a professional painter whatsoever. This is the first car that I painted. So I did a lot of research, and what I found a lot of was people saying if you're going to be painting a bare metal car, the first thing you should start out with was an epoxy primer. And I was doing a self-etching primer, which is still acceptable, but if, like I said, if I want to achieve that very good professional quality paint, I'm gonna have to take the steps a professional would take. So there wasn't really, I wasn't finding anything rattle can wise. I was gonna try and do the whole project rattle can, but I started doing the math and figuring out how many rattle cans it would take, how much elbow grease it would take, how much time it would take, and thought, you know what, let's just go the extra mile and invest in a paint gun, which I ended up doing. I got a decent quality paint gun. I got all the attachments. Yeah, so all in all, I'm just trying to go the extra mile, and hopefully it pays off in the end. Now, so here when you mix in the paint with this epoxy primer, it is a two-step paint, meaning it takes one step of the paint and then one step of the hardener or the activator. I don't know. It's just a two-part. It's a part A and part B. This is a 1-to-1 ratio, so that means if you pour 6 ounces of the part A, then you have to pour 6 ounces of the part B, giving you a total of 12 ounces of paint. All right, this is the end result with the epoxy primer. It didn't come out absolutely perfect. The roof didn't turn out as smooth. I think it was more of like it misted on there. I didn't get it too heavy, so that'll need some adjusting. Some parts came out a little bit shinier than others. I don't know what. I don't know with that, but it's looking like some areas. You know, this whole area turned out good. Most of this fender turned out good. A good chunk of the hood turned out good, but then again, there's some, you know, little spots in here. It kind of looks like a handprint on there. So I'm thinking I just didn't clean that up too well. I should have worn gloves when I went over this, because, you know, you got oils on your hands. So I really should have worn gloves. There's a couple spots that are a little bit light because I didn't spray all that much. So it's gonna need a little bit more elbow grease to make it turn out good. Again, there is gonna be one more coat of primer that's gonna go right over this. It's gonna be the self-etching primer. I'll have to spray that and then sand everything smooth. I know this epoxy primer, it's not made to be sanded. Your self-etching primer or your sandable primer or your buildable primer or whatever they call it, that's what you need to sand. So I'll have to do some research on how I can make this better. I mean, if I can go right over it with the self-etching, that would be amazing. Then I could just hide all my defects. But I will be getting what I need to finish the paint. But I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon. All right, so that's officially what I'm gonna call it on bodywork for this car, at least for a good while. There's a couple things I would like to start tackling. I'm definitely gonna be pulling the motor and the transmission probably either next weekend or sometime in the end of July, maybe early August. So y'all will be getting a video on that. There's another part of the vehicle that I would really like to tackle, and that's the interior. At least getting this front part close to done. I have some ideas on interpreting suede into the interior. I got a new driver door. If you guys have seen the first few videos, you know that I've mentioned the driver door being completely shot. So I got a new driver door. We got to get the passenger and driver door painted. I don't know how I want to go about putting everything together. Should I put everything together and then when it comes to actually painting, have to take everything apart again just to paint? I don't know, because when I pull the motor and the transmission is going to be sent off to be rebuilt. And the motor, I'm probably going to do a lot of, I don't think the motor has to be rebuilt, but I'm going to do a complete teardown and determine if it needs to be rebuilt. We'll see how that goes. I will definitely be having a video on the motor and the transmission, hopefully by the end, sometime middle of August. So stay tuned for that. In between then and now, might have a video coming out of me completely redoing the dash myself. by hand. So yeah, if you guys happen to enjoy the video, please leave a like. I do have a video that I posted not so long ago on my supercharged S550. It's just a fun little video that I wanted to do. So that one hasn't had much traction as the 68 has. So if y'all haven't seen that video, please go check that out. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna call it. I got a mess to clean, so I'm gonna get on that. Peace.